That's not what we started to teach, which was that every baby is, I don't know, let's not even put it on the birth certificate. That's what they wanted.
Were we teaching that?
Yes, we
When were we teaching that?
Teaching it. It was a law here in California. See,
To teach what?
Don't put sex on the birth certificate. We'll see.
Nobody thought Bill Maher would be the one to slam the brakes on the left's cultural chaos, but he finally snapped. He says there was a moment where he realized the movement he defended wasn't evolving. It was spiraling. He brings up the push to drop sex from birth certificates, not as a joke, but as proof that reality was getting traded in for experiments. And according to him, after Obama, America panicked, and the left panicked even harder. Suddenly, every issue became a crisis. Gender, race, crime, schools, the border. The twist? Maher isn't attacking ideas. He's calling out the left's obsession with constant reinvention, chaos disguised as progress. And that's when he tapped out.
This country is not as mature as it thinks it is. We elected Obama, and clearly the country freaked out. We're still living in that freak out. We are not as progressed and evolved and intelligent as we think we are because we keep freaking out about this stuff.
Well,
you know?
The left freak out too. The left freaked out about a lot of bullshit too.
What did they freak out about?
Gender, race, parenthood, schools, homelessness, crime, the border, education. Like we stopped being a scientific people.
Maher says America drifted away from being a science-minded society. And honestly, look around, he's not wrong. When major institutions start treating biological sex like a flexible menu option, it's hard to pretend logic is still running the show. Then, he hits the real pressure point. He flat out blames the left's fixation on gender ideology for tanking the election. And at this point, is anyone shocked? While average voters were worried about their bills, their kids, and their neighborhoods, the left was busy trying to rewrite the fundamentals of human biology. Suddenly, identity became a magic trick. Say the word, and reality shifts. And anyone who dared ask a basic question was instantly branded a villain in need of reprogramming. Maher's point isn't subtle. The left chose crusades over common sense, and voters noticed.
Like we stopped being a scientific people. Like it's not scientific.
But the left certainly stayed scientific.
No, they didn't.
Why not?
Because they think gender that they went way too far with, that's not scientific.
Maher's argument hits because it captures what millions felt but were pressured to keep quiet. When a movement expects the whole country to ditch basic logic for the comfort of a tiny online crowd, the election outcome writes itself. People want real-world fixes, not pronoun sermons or purity tests. Yet instead of adjusting, the left pushed harder, treating gender theory like the nation's top emergency. And that brings us back to the California birth certificate mess. When Maher says, yes, we really taught that, the frustration is unmistakable. What's wild is how fast the left now denies it all. Suddenly none of it happened. No policies, no lectures, no shaming, but the internet remembers. Every clip, every article, every scolding speech. Maher calls out the sudden amnesia. The same voices that once pushed these ideas with absolute certainty now insist they never said a thing. And voters didn't forget. That's why the backlash came.
That's not what we started to teach, which was that every baby is, I don't know, let's not even put it on the birth certificate. That's what they wanted.
Were we teaching that?
Yes, we
When
were.
were we teaching that?
Teaching it. It was a law here in California. See,
To teach what?
Don't put sex on the birth certificate. We'll see. Now, we've passed that period now.
I'm sorry, I don't remember that. I mean,
I know, because it doesn't get in the blue sky bubble.
Wait a minute, I'm not just on blue sky.
I really think that's a lot of it, is that some of this stuff doesn't get in.
Maher then jumps to socialism, and he treats it like a flare fired into the sky. He runs through real countries with real outcomes. South Korea booming under markets, North Korea literally going dark, Poland taking off after ditching Soviet economics, Venezuela collapsing after embracing 21st century socialism. No hypotheticals, just receipts. His point is blunt. Americans don't want socialism, don't trust it, and sure as hell don't want to bankroll it. Yet the Democratic Party keeps edging toward it like they're sniff testing a gas leak. Maher says places like New York think they can reinvent it, polish it, modernize it. But every nation that's tried has wound up with the same trio of disasters: rising inflation, sinking wages, and people running for the exit. Then he switches to culture, and it gets brutal. His example? Playboy. A brand built for straight men suddenly pretending it didn't need them. Out went the formula, in came identity politics, and the audience bolted. A 66-year staple turned itself into a lecture no one wanted. Maher says the same thing happened to Budweiser, Sears, and a dozen other corporations. They ditched the customers who paid the bills to impress people who never bought their products in the first place. They called it progress. He calls it self-inflicted collapse.
They put transgender women and gay men on the cover, and predictably sales, like their subscribers, collapsed. The staff began using terms like intersectionality, sex positivity, and privileging, and in response, Playboy readers used terms like no thanks, get the f*** out of here, and bye-bye. At one point, Playboy, yes, Playboy, even dropped the nudity, which is like cigar aficionado announcing, we're getting rid of the cigars. It went from entertainment for men to re-education for nobody, and enlightened their way to unpopularity. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian posed for another magazine and broke the internet with her.
Maher doesn't stop at culture. He calls out how even brands panicked. He brings up Cracker Barrel, a company that suddenly felt embarrassed by the same rural customers who made it successful. They tried to upgrade their image, instantly alienated the people paying the bills, and backtracked the moment they saw the fallout. If only the Democratic Party had that kind of self-awareness. They didn't rethink anything. They doubled down. Then Maher drops a political analogy that hits like a brick. Chuck Schumer claiming that for every blue-collar voter the Democrats lose, they'd magically pick up 2 suburban Republicans. Reality proved the opposite. While Trump hammered away at everyday concerns, jobs, wages, safety, the border, the left chose to wage culture wars nobody asked for. Pronouns and niche debates replaced the issues people actually live with. Maher frames the election results as a slap of cold reality. The left assumed moral superiority would carry them across the finish line. But voters don't choose messages. They choose solutions. And in that moment, Trump was the one speaking directly to what families felt in their kitchens, schools, and neighborhoods. And Maher's warning is brutal. The left didn't learn the lesson. Instead of recalibrating, they ran harder into the same ideological tunnel. More wokeness, more abstract crusades, more policies regular Americans never asked for. He says the Democratic Party now feels like a luxury boutique desperate to impress elites and influencers while forgetting the working-class shoppers who once kept the lights on. His final point is the blade. The left abandoned the people they once championed. They chase grand causes that look noble on paper but do nothing for the families struggling right now. Meanwhile, the right, and especially Trump, talks about problems people actually wake up worrying about. Maher's closing message is simple. If the left doesn't return to reality, and fast, it'll keep losing elections, trust, and relevance. And he might be right. Now that's the breakdown. Let me know. Did Maher nail it? Or is this just another political cycle playing out?